ersten Session der Happy Bet European Darts Trophy angekommen. Und wir haben den nächsten Mann aus England. Einer, der noch gar nicht so lange bei der PDC dabei ist, der erst 2016, also im Januar dieses Jahres, sich die Tourcard holte und der inzwischen schon zum 3. Mal sich für die European Tour qualifizieren konnte. Beim ersten Event gleich bei European Tour Turnier Nummer 1, da erreichte er das Achtelfinale. Ähnliches hat er heute natürlich, oder besser gesagt an diesem Wochenende hier in Mülheim vor. Herzlich willkommen, Richie Edhouse. Edhouse. Richie Edhouse tritt bekanntermaßen gegen einen Mann an mit einem ziemlich langsamen Wurfrhythmus. Aber er ist ein unheimlich sympathischer Kerl. Gewann 2012 das allererste European Tour Event. Das waren die Austrian Darts Open, damals in Wiener Neustadt. Ein ehemaliger Top-10-Spieler. Er ist in der Rangliste ein bisschen abgerutscht. Die aktuelle Nummer 23 der Welt. Die Rede ist von The Force, Justin Pipe.
Well, let's get ready to rumble. Big fan of that walk-on tune from Richie Edhouse, but will he feel the force of Justin Pipe in the final match of this afternoon session here at the European Darts Trophy in Mulheim? Piper, a European event winner before, the very first one of the current sort of incarnation of the European Tour. And he's won plenty of titles in the past. His form line has not been as fantastic as it's been in previous years, but he'll be probably fairly happy with his draw. But Richie Edhouse is a player who's been on the European Tour before. Paul Nicholson, tell us what you know about these two.
Well, obviously I know a lot about Justin, been on the circuit roughly the same amount of time as myself. Richie, only known about him for about 6 or 7 months. Had the pleasure of being beaten by Richie Edhouse in Dutch Masters qualification, so that's when I first saw him. But yeah, I'm a big fan of the walk-on song for Richie Edhouse. I think that's something that really gets him going. He's a nice kid, you know, and he's a very handy dart player. He's got a great reputation in the southeast of England where he lives, at local competitions and events away from the PDC circuit. He's very dangerous when he gets going, and he has won on the European stage before, which poses problems for the Force today.
Yeah, we all have a bit of PJ and Duncan on a Friday afternoon, Paul.
Well, way I pet.
I thought you'd like that one. Yeah, but we've just seen Mervyn King exit the tournament.
Ladies and gentlemen, first leg Justin, the throw first. Game on!
Robbie Green also exited in this early stage, so we're seeing some fairly big names tumble straight away here.
We can call them shocks, surprises, whatever you want, but that's just the way it is in darts these days. There's a very small difference between
81.
Slight favourites and people who either haven't challenged before or people who are on the up. And for me, I think the biggest surprise of the day was Vincent Camphouse against Ronnie Hybrex, because I really fancied Ronnie for that game after the way he played last week. And Camphouse, fair play to him, the way he played and the way he brought aggression to the game, I think it was a sensational performance.
100.
Yeah, Justin Pipe, well, he went through a spell of just winning all the time on the tours. I think it's 6 PDC titles that he's got, including that European Tour event. Not won a title since 2014 though, and just won quarter-final this year. A player of his ability perhaps should be doing a little bit better maybe.
I think as commentators we do look at the statistics like that and always judge the players on what they've done, and we're always trying to squeeze that lemon 46. For a bit more. I think
I'm going to start on you in a minute, Paul.
No, fair enough. You've got lots to squeeze then. But with Justin, I don't think it's a case that he's playing worse. I just think it's everybody around him getting better. And Justin's in a phase of his career at the moment where he's trying to adapt to this new standard. Still a very dangerous player, still making European Tour events, which is a mark of the fact that he's still playing well. In qualifying, he took out Wes Newton, which is never an easy game, and then he took Sam Head 6-1. So that looks comfortable, but I assure you it wouldn't have been, because none of the qualification games now are easy.
Yeah, well, Richie Edhouse, he's one of the Challenge Tour winners this year. In the event that he won, he beat Mark Durbridge 5-0 in the final, so no mean feat that.
Not at all. Mark Durbridge, a former world finalist and world match play finalist.
Richie,
someone who has had
110.
many a success in the PDC circuit over the last 11, 12 years.
Just checking that wasn't in the treble there. Pipe will return for 74.
Justin requires 74.
In the first leg.
Well, Justin does like double 16, so this is a nice inviting shot. It's even better now. 2 darts in hand with double 16. This is where he usually goes for the start at the World Grand Prix, so likes this corner. There you go.
Shot in the first leg. Justin Pipe. Second leg, Richie.
He got the double he wanted with the treble 14, and he got the outcome he wanted.
I think with the way Justin's playing at the moment, it's shots like that that can really help, because you don't lose the love for a double like double 16 overnight. Maybe when he was playing at his best, he would have taken it up first dart, but I tell you what, that first dart, treble 14, is a very good sign for his game, because it gives him 2 opportunities, take that leg out and not give Richie Edhouse the lead at the very start.
It's an intro you could just see on the camera angle then of Justin Pipe's darts going in, the complete opposite to how Richie's darts go in. They sort of tilt
94
vertically towards the floor rather than to the top of the board. What causes that?
Well, if you look at Justin's dart, for instance, it just defies physics a little bit. He's got a knitting needle type dart. The points are enormous, and the benefit of that is that you can fit a lot of those points together and have a lot of room to work with. But the reason it is like that is purely because of his grip. It's very much at the end, so it comes out of his hand flight first, and then it dips because the weight is at the bottom, so it sort of just dips at the end, and he's got no weight on the flight to carry it square. If you ever try to throw those exact darts, it's very, very difficult. The size of the flight, it's tiny.
It gives him the opportunity, a bit like Phil Taylor, to stack the darts as well.
Yeah, it does. Like you say, exactly the opposite to Richie. Richie got a very conventional setup.
92.
And what looks like an old Phil Taylor dart.
Probably not a bad choice for any player to pick up the Powers arrows.
I think it's a good starting point with that kind of dart. I think square with a bit of grip on it, and you can
81.
work from there to get what works for yourself. Back before James Wade had his own stuff, he was using a dart like this as well.
The last visit, Pipe wanted a ton to
56.
leave the 170, but the last dart slips into the 1, so Edhouse is first to a finish, albeit a big one, and Pipe with a real chance to break the throw if Edhouse doesn't take out a showstopper here.
Yeah. What is very unusual,
37.
as Justin hits that, is just how the darts look from where Richie's sitting. Well, Richie would have been sitting on the ball if he'd hit that treble 18. But again, Pipe will probably leave double 16.
There's eyes on the 20. Perfect, nowhere near the treble or the double, so he gets the one he wants. Took him 2 darts last time. Same again, and he doubles his lead on double 16.
Third leg, Justin to throw first.
Pretty straightforward for Pipe so far.
Pretty straightforward indeed. And this is what Justin does. He wears you down when he's playing well. He doesn't make mistakes. The only thing that he's missed in this match really so far are the guide shots for double 16. And he won't mind those because he's taking it out the next dart. 2 very solid legs, and that'll make him very happy.
100.
There's a bit more wobble in the dart when it's hitting the board these days with Justin. That says to me that maybe his throw isn't at its peak like it was 4 or 5 years ago. But at the same time, he's an advocate for the way he throws and the darts he's got. If he believes in what he's using, then nothing else matters.
Yeah, thrown with a similar style dart for a long time and very small flights as well.
Yeah, very streamlined. I don't think I've ever seen Justin throw with a big flight. It just doesn't work for him. And he likes the darts to sit down the way they do. I mean, you don't win tour events in Dublin by being a bad player. In my opinion, the Dublin Pro Tour event is the hardest one to win because it's the only one that precedes a major. You play on the Friday, or used to be on the Saturday and the Sunday.
100.
Now it's the Friday and the Saturday. He won on the Sunday, and everybody was there. You know, back when Taylor and Anderson, Chisnell, the lot, nobody was absent. So when you win that, you definitely deserve it.
Well, the winner of this match play is a player that was absent last week, James Wade, returning from illness.
Yeah, it's good to have James back. Obviously, when he's in the field, and we've got MVG back, and we've
57.
got the continuing.
Score was 80. Thank you.
A little correction from Russ. And you've got the likes of Wright in Germany. An expectant crowd here in Mulheim over the weekend. We'll want to see the best stuff. And hopefully,
45.
touch wood, we might see a 9-darter. Had 3 attempts last week and all missed on double 12.
Well, we better not hold our breath. Doesn't seem to happen on the European Tour, does it? We get no end of attempts. But Ross Smith's still the last man to do it.
Yeah, and Ross will be at home saying, I don't want anybody to hit 9-darter because that means that my name gets mentioned a bit more. Richie, I don't think, has found his game today as of yet. He found it in qualifying against Jamie Robinson
47.
with a 6-4 victory, against Dave Ladley also with a 6-4 victory, and show-stopping final against Steve Beaton to win 6-2. I mean, if you're beating Steve Beaton at the moment, you are playing good stuff.
96.
Yeah, another player had an excellent world match player, Steve Beaton.
Never gets old watching Steve Beaton. 20 years now.
140.
What a
Just
man.
in require
The
48.
single-handedly best example of a veteran dart player who's still playing today, in my opinion.
There's
Game
double
shot
16
in the
again.
third leg. Justin Pipe.
And Pipe
Fourth leg.
races
Richie
into a
to throw
3-0 lead.
first.
Deadly on double 16. Pipe. Tell you what, if he's going to leave that the rest of this match, he's probably going to hit it every time. But Richie's back in the red bit.
127.
Yeah, he needs to find a few more darts like that to get himself going and get back into this match.
Well, I echo what I said earlier on in the match, Murph, because essentially Justin hasn't made any mistakes. He's left himself doubles. He's taken them. That's how you win dart matches. He's making this very, very difficult for Richie Edhouse to get into this game. This is the old Justin Pipe.
Well, that's actually his first 140, so it's just been tons and then finishing his double 16 at the first
137.
visit every time.
Yeah, that's efficient darts. I mean, it's not the kind of performances that he was putting in, 3-4 years ago when he was winning events, but that will not bother him whatsoever because all you've got to worry about in matches is what's in front of you, and what he's doing right now is enough.
100.
We just saw from that camera angle there his back foot coming up a lot in the throw.
Tends to happen with a few
45.
players. We've seen that with the Hungarian boy today, Janos Vegsor.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to stand too close.
What's important, though, is the right foot. Doesn't move at all. That right leg is absolutely static.
100.
And that's the stability leg. If you can maintain the weight going all the way through your right foot, your right leg, your right hip, and the right side of your body, especially with Justin, because he twists it to make sure he's side on. If that's all still, then it doesn't matter what the left heel does.
So it's been pretty effective so far, whatever the method. But Edhouse favourite to get a leg on the board now. He'll want 52.
45.
Couple of options.
Richie require 52.
Goes 20 for double 16. Slightly up to double 8.
36.
Doesn't get it.
Justin, you require
And this would
116.
really, really hurt him.
Yeah, it will hurt. It'll hammer home what I've said. I mean, that is dangling in. So is he going to stay at the 20s? He is. So all the way to the other side of the board. 4-0, double 18. Double
Game
18
shot
it
and
is.
a full flag. Justin
Justin Pipe lands
kicks
a
the
killer
window.
blow.
Fifth
Yeah,
leg, Justin
brilliant
the
shot.
throw first.
Yeah.
Game on.
You can see in the background that's affected him.
Yeah, I can understand that. Obviously, that was his leg to win. Like you said, Justin has left himself a shot, and he's taken it out. Finishing from Justin Pipe in this match has been flawless.
140.
Yeah, the average is pretty similar as they match each other on the scoring.
140.
Opening 3 darts of this leg, but as you said, 60% on the finishing for Justin Pipe. 116 finish, 74 finish. In fact, it's more than 60%, about 66%.
57.
Yeah, Justin's another one, an advocate of the earplugs. So the club of Kim Huybrechts, who now wears earplugs. Mervyn King. Gary Anderson.
45.
That's all I've got.
A few players have tried them in the past.
Yeah, I did, until I got one stuck in my ear and I couldn't get it out. What the funny thing is about when you wear earplugs is that it does take away a lot of the noise, but not all of it. And you really do appreciate how loud it gets in these venues when you take them out.
58.
I think it's just a way of focusing and making sure that you're concentrating properly. I know that Raymond van Barneveld has used them as well. And I think
97.
they suit the Raymond van Barneveld game probably more than anybody else.
When Pipe kind of went on his run of winning things and qualifying for all the TV events for the first time, he kind of felt he had to put them in because his slower style of play was getting crowds on his back a little bit. But as we said, very, very effective.
Effective indeed, and I'm not exactly sure why he's shaking his head after he's hit a 180. It's not like he can hit any more, Justin.
Justin, you require 6.
181 would have left 65, Paul.
Oh, God. All right.
66.
41. It will be 9 for double 16.
He can bank on that because he's not missing that double.
He's not missing it on visits. But he's missed this visit. That's probably the first time in this match that he's presented an opportunity to Richie Edhouse.
Yeah, but look at what opportunity it was.
50.
Can't see him missing it this time.
No,
Absolutely
Justin,
not.
you require
Convert
32.
the maximum checkout. So Justin Pipe wants 32 for a 5-0 lead.
Game shot in the 5th leg.
Shelling
Justin
peas, Paul.
Pipe.
Yeah, shelling the green bit.
6th leg, Richie to throw first.
And this is a good sign for JP because there are things to build on here with this performance. Definitely something to build on and not.
Where has that been, Richie?
Well, what he's going to be thinking right now is, right, I don't want to get whitewashed. So just make sure I win this leg. And then after that, you can think, I'll win another one. And then another one. It can be done. And I'm sure it has been done to Justin in the past.
Yeah, well, you can tell us. I'm not sure how much players pay attention to what's going on before them, but it hasn't been a whitewash in this afternoon session. So you certainly won't want to be the only player
Not at all.
legless.
No. It's a great question because I guarantee you that both players really don't care and they don't know if there's been a whitewash. They'll have had their earplugs in, listening to music, earplugs like Justin there, just focusing on their own stuff. And Richie Edhouse at the minute is looking like banking himself a leg
97.
to make sure there's going to be no whitewash in this match.
So 1-2-8 after 9 darts, a fantastic position to be in.
Unfortunately, the start of 5-0 is definitely not in his favour. Right, and what Justin's got to do now
30.
is let this one go.
128.
He hasn't played well in this leg. He can afford to let Richie have this because he's so far in front and he can't afford to lose his concentration. In the past, there have been times where he has lost his concentration from 1 or 2 legs, and what he needs to focus on now is just say, right, okay, we take a deep breath and then we start the next one and we win it 6-1.
96. Richie, you require 30.
Can Edhouse hit a double this time?
Game
Yes, he
shot in
can.
the 6th leg.
No whitewash this afternoon. Rich Edhouse is on the mark. A leg on the board.
Just in the throat first. Game on.
Well, let's see if Justin Pipe can follow Paul Nicholson's advice and just regroup and see out the job here.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't want to let him have another leg, because then all of a sudden Richie starts getting momentum, he gets a bit of confidence.
91.
So he's got to just stay where he is, play steadily. He's got to make Richie play better.
But Richie seems to have found his range.
105.
Well, I think that's a sign that Richie has basically said, right, I'm going to fool around a bit there.
Well, they're asking for the board to be adjusted here. I've not seen this very often mid-match. Well, interesting. What do you do if you're Richie Edhouse, Paul? Do you play a little game and say, no, I think it's all right, Justin?
Well, it depends on your type of character. I think some players would just say, you know what, I'm not bothered. Let's just keep playing. Sometimes the board does move, though, in the middle of the match, because if you yank your darts out, you can inadvertently twist it. So, in a sense, what that does is that paints a very concentrated picture of Justin Pipe, making sure that it's nice and straight. If he's actually noticed that, I'd say fair play to him. And fair play to Richie Edhouse for saying that it is as well.
I think when Justin Pipe had the big one, he just joked with Russ Bray, can you move it back, please, as he walked back.
133.
What we do need to stress, though, is that both players need to agree. If Richie Edhouse had his stubborn hat on and said, it's fine, it wouldn't have been adjusted.
96.
Well, it's the pipe throw, and Edhouse has the dart, and that 60 was very, very big.
The Pipe can leave a finish with a couple of trebles.
So on 273, you've got a couple of choices. You can stay on the 60, or you can go bullseye, hit a 25, and an 18 it leaves 170.
They did get two trebles, and that does leave a finish. And it's a finish
24
that we saw Mervyn King take out in the last match.
Require 142.
Yeah, somewhat unusually not going bull double 16. I thought that was quite surprising. But Pipe has been gifted the possible chance of a second visit after this 142. And he's coming back for double 16 if and only if Richie Edhouse cannot hit this 154.
Well, maybe he can. Maybe he can.
120.
Some effort.
Small margins.
Justin, you require 32.
He requires 32. Russ Bray makes the call. Just making sure. He's hit it lots in this match. It'll be over if he hits it.
Well, he just needs to adjust, as he has done many times in this match. Keep moving to the right. And he finally finds a target. Justin Pipe with a 6-1 victory over Richie Edhouse to cap off his afternoon session here at the European Darts Trophy at Mulheim. This evening we've got plenty more action for you. The likes of Kyle Anderson, Jamie Caven, Devon Peterson, Vincent van der Voort, Joe Cullen and Jamie Lewis all in action this evening. We've seen Mervyn King, Robbie Green, Ronnie Hybregs all depart this afternoon, but Justin Pipe moves through. He'll play James Wade tomorrow, and we'll hear from him in a moment, but join us again tonight.
Erfolg für Justin Pipe. Trifft morgen damit auf die Nummer 3 der Setzliste, auf James Wade. Und wir hatten es ja eingangs gesagt, Justin Pipe, der allererste European Tour Sieger. Damals das Finale ging gegen James Wade. Applaus nochmal für Richie Madhouse Edhouse. So, da werden noch ein paar Flights verteilt von Justin Pipe. Justin! No. Congratulations, Justin. It's good to see you back in Germany on stage at a European Tour event.
Well, yeah, I've had an awful lot to do away from darts, so you know, this is important, you know, but life away from darts is important as well. So, but yeah, it's nice to come back and win a match.
I just said you were the very first European Tour winner Austrian Darts Open 2012. You played the final against James Wade. He's your next opponent now.
Yeah, I don't think James would be too bothered about what he's seen tonight, but yeah, I mean, you know, James and I are good friends, and tomorrow's a different day, and you know, I'll prepare tomorrow as if I'm playing, obviously, James, as I did today against Richie. But you know, it is what it is, and it's all on the day. Tomorrow I could come out and hit a 9-darter first leg, so. And so can James. So he beat me last night, actually, in an exhibition. So I've got to beat him tomorrow, and I want you all behind me.
Werdet ihr morgen Justin unterstützen? Hat gestern Abend die Exhibition gegen James Wade verloren. Das soll sich morgen also ändern. Justin, thank you very much. See you tomorrow again.
Right, now listen, right? I run with this man sometimes. Are we running in the morning?
We did, yeah.
How far?
Not too far.
10K?
6K.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
Justin Pipe. Ja, er will. Komm, der macht hier gleich den Breakdancer. Ihr müsst mehr Gas geben. Ihr müsst ihn herausfordern. Ja, hey, hey.
Those people sat down now, Mark. Get them up.
Okay, alle aufstehen. Ihr müsst bitte alle aufstehen. Das macht er nicht zum Spaß. Das macht er nicht zum Spaß.
Are we ready?
Are we ready?
Are we ready?
Are we ready? Hey! Justin Pipe. Er hat in seiner Jugend, war er ein großer Breakdancer. Thank you very much, Justin. Und den sehen wir, wie gesagt, morgen wieder. Hat erzählt, weil es jetzt seit längerer Zeit sein erstes European Tour Event in Deutschland war, hat gesagt, hatte auch neben dem Darts einfach einiges zu tun, musste privat einiges regeln. Es gibt nicht nur den Dartsport, der wichtig ist, sondern auch viele andere Bereiche im Leben eines Dartprofis, bei denen es manchmal einfach dann wichtig wird und darauf ankommt. Möchte euch noch kurz, gerade für diejenigen, die auch dann heute Abend mit dabei sind, den Überblick verschaffen, welche Partien heute Abend auf uns warten. Vielleicht nochmal, um das festzuhalten, Martin Schindler, The Wall, er steht in der zweiten Runde. Wir haben auf jeden Fall